Well, here's something I haven't done in a pretty long time. A Raw review. I can't remember the last time that I've done one of these, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. And while I'm going to do this, let me give you a bit of a backdrop on how I'm going to be constructing this. I will say off the bat, after each show, I'm going to do a live review. So SmackDown, Raw, pay-per-views, I'm going to do a live review, and I'm going to have that for members only. So if you want to be a part of the live review, snatch you up a membership. A link should be on the page, if not in the description, and I'll be live for those. If becoming a channel member isn't a thing for you, don't fret. I am going to put up the chopped up, edited versions onto the channel, just like I am going to do with videos that probably are going to precede this video that you're watching, but you'll see how we roll this whole thing out. But anyway, starting off with Monday Night Raw, March 25th. We opened the show with a worthless Cody promo. I mean, they're all worthless at this point, right? It's a promo to keep the crowd behind him. He mentioned some deeds that he's done for the fans off camera. It's kind of Cena-like. And now he needs the crowd to do something for him in return. He does his Bullet Club salute, which I am surprised that Triple H is still letting him get away with. But he wants the crowd to point up to the WrestleMania sign and support him at Mania as he allegedly defeats The Rock, or the final boss, and Roman Reigns. And out comes The Rock immediately when you hear him. And I swear, the production that they put into The Rock is grade A. Phenomenal. It's like the chef's kiss. It's the chef's kiss, what they do for The Rock's entrance. You just hear that if you smell, the lights dim, the Brahma Bulls are on each side, the lightning is hitting, you got the regular Rock theme, and then it stops and transitions into his Hollywood Rock theme, which is his final boss, as the lights completely go off and they put that spotlight on him. The Rock's entrance, and I'm going to make a standalone video for what I'm about to say. It's probably not going to come out till Wednesday or Thursday. The Rock's entrance, it tells me where the storyline is going. And I don't want to spoil my thoughts on that here, but it really tells me where this storyline is going. Love the entrance, comes down, says nothing to the crowd, says nothing to anyone, just throws his arm up, comes over to Cody, whispers something in his ear, some sweet nothings. And most people on Twitter have said that I guess these people that could read lips now have said, tonight, I'm going to make you bleed. And then he walked off. And Cody's just looking around confused, like, huh? What? Cody annoys me. Cody just annoys me, man. I want to, I'm trying my best to get behind this Cody thing, but I swear it's like I just can't. Again, if he were to go after Seth's belt, I could get behind that. But going after Roman's belt, here's what's wrong with that for me. I think that Roman should lose the belt for one of two reasons only. One, to get a younger, more hungry talent over that's going to take the company into the future. Or two, if there's someone that's just flat out better across the board than Roman. I mean, more aggressive. He can knock out the promos. He's 1,000,000% over. He can work his ass off. He can get the spotlight on him. He's just the guy. And I don't mean, Cody, the story should dictate that he should win the title. No. The guy should be the one to take the title off of Roman. As for Cody, I mean, Seth's belt is fine. What's wrong with Seth's belt? It's a belt. It means that you are a champion. You're kind of out of the way. You're not bothering anybody. What's wrong with that? I don't see what's wrong with that. I would have no problem with it. But under certain conditions that I don't believe Cody meets, I don't think he should be taking the title off of Roman. Following The Rock, we get a backstage segment with the Judgment Day. I think that everybody at this point is saying that these dudes are just straight up losers. You got Priest, who's like the biggest guy in the world, saying, hey, I think I found some way to put things in our favor to keep the title. Well, his voice. I think I found some way to put some things in our favor to keep these titles. And then you got Balor like, yeah, that's what I like to hear. It's like, yo, what is this group? Like, it's a group of lackeys and they have lackeys. How this group is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And they've had more than enough time in the main event scene to get themselves over. And I swear, week in and week out, it's as if they've gotten worse and worse. I mean, you had a stint where Dom got over, Rhea got herself over, but that's it. The Dom experiment, that pretty much came to an end. And Dom is going to be fine. Dom is going to be fine. He's going to have a fine career. But the Dom experiment with this group is over. The everybody experiment with this group is over. But that segment led into a match with Rick Ocean and the guy with the big head. What's his? I keep forgetting this guy's name. Jordan Devlin. What do they call him now? Sporty Deep, whatever his name is now. I don't know what his name is now. Let me say this. This was a great match. And I like the way that they paced it because Rick Ocean can do all of these high spots and he can do normal wrestling. Whereas the guy with the stop sign forehead, he's a pure wrestler. And the way that they structured this match was that they didn't overload you with high spots. They didn't overload you with technical wrestling. They did a perfect blend of the two. And within doing the perfect blend of the two, it gave each of their specialties room to breathe. I will say this is a match for you to go out of your way to watch because it's not every day that I care about people that's doing, you know, the flips and the kicks and the all of that. It's not every day that I do, but the way that they structured this match told me a lot about what they're planning on doing with the mid card. I think that once Goon drops this title, it's going to be a free for all. I kind of came out of this feeling like they was positioning Ricochet to be one of those guys that's going to be in top contention for a mid card title. But Goon has to drop the title first. And I don't know when that's going to be. Maybe SummerSlam. It definitely ain't going to be the Sami. But they are loading up that mid card so that when they can play with the title, it's going to be great. Like even the spot that they had on the show, it kind of reminded me of WCW in the Cruiserweight days where they would start the show with a bang, you know, high flying excitement. Or the technical wrestlers and the mixture of two. This was a really, really good representation of the cruiserweight division that WCW had. It was the perfect representation of it. But they're loading this mid card up, and I think that is going to be pretty special. Like it's not every day that I care about Ricochet, but something about how they're presenting him right now, or as far as how they're trying to get him over as a ring presence, tells me that there's investment in it. And I think up next, they're going to start putting presentation back into his entrance, back into his presentation. They're going to start putting some investment into this guy. It's like the writing is on the wall. Again, y'all don't ever hear me high on certain type of guys, Ricochet being one of them. But again, sometimes when you know, you know. We get a CM Punk promo up next, and Chicago is hot for this guy. Some of the notable things that was mentioned in this is that he liked to have Mania be in Chicago. However, I don't think that people want to be outside in that stadium in that cold for WrestleMania. Absolutely not. We did it at MetLife. I was there, and it was freezing. And for some reason, there was a dude that was butt ass and painted in lime green about 3 rows away from me in Smalls. That shit was crazy. Wrestling fans are nuts. Punk says that it's a big title match at Mania, and he wants to be a part of it. You know, he can't wrestle, but he says his mouth works. And we're not on Netflix yet, so he can't show us how. I don't know why he decided to go in that. You know what? It's too many of those, like, sky blue shirts that he be wearing. Punk's been trying to tell us something ever since he went back to AEW. He says that a lot of people have been talking about him. Roman was on Pat McAfee's show talking about him. And on Roman's way down, CM Punk is going to be climbing a ladder. And they're going to be meeting pretty soon. All right, well, I mean, we'll see how that goes. Right now, I don't really have any investment in him because I don't really see the chemistry between those two. But I mean, I guess, Punk did bring him on to the main roster and storyline. So, there's that part of the story. He put over Cornette's podcast. That was cool because I mess with the Cornette's podcast. I think I mess with both of them. I just catch the highlights that they put on YouTube. So I don't listen to the whole thing. But I probably should because he'll chop them things up and put them out 2 weeks later. I probably should listen to the live ones. I just don't know when they come on. But there was a funny bit when he mentioned that The Rock is one person that hasn't mentioned him. And he said it's probably because The Rock realized that his arms are too short to box with God. And right there, they even did they did it the exact same way where they had to zoom in on Punk's face when he delivered the line, had the same facial expression and everything when he said it to The Rock. However, there's a problem with that. Punk, there's a bit of a problem there. You lost, kid. You lost. You lost. So maybe, just maybe, Punk's arms weren't large enough to box with God. Just a thought. Just a thought. He says that Drew is an internet troll, but when Punk has a problem, here's how they do it in Chicago. He handles it like a man, and out comes Drew. During Drew's entrance, Punk did something that I don't know if this is like a lost art or just something that we don't really get a chance to see too often. I think I could vaguely remember Triple H doing this. No, Austin did it. Austin did this. Oh my God, this is a throwback to Austin. When Triple H came out and did his entrance, all of you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Triple H comes out, he does his whole entrance, and he gets up on the ring apron. Austin's in the ring. Austin's in the ring just looking pissed. Absolutely fuming. And Triple H gets up on the ring apron. Shut that fucking music off. Shut it off. Shut it off. Spit your little beady water out. Oh, you all know exactly which segment that I'm talking about. And he just castrated him from there on. CM Punk essentially did the same thing. Turn that stupid music off. And then he's just begging for him to get into the ring. I don't know why he wants him to get in the ring so bad. He's a guy with one arm. Maybe he just wanted to look him in the eye, but all right, whatever. But it's kind of a callback to what Seth did to him the week prior. Was it last week or maybe it was the week before where Drew's his music was playing as he was leaving out, and then Seth music hit and he just blew right past him as if he just didn't exist. And it's like, we just going to keep interrupting this guy's music as if he's a nobody. And it's funny, but I really think that it's a play to bring Drew down a little bit so that when he wins, it's just going to mean that much more. The exchange between Punk and Drew was good, but I'm not a play-by-play guy. Go back and watch it. I'll give y'all some more tidbits from this, but I am definitely not the play-by-play guy. As Drew was cutting his promo, Punk was just insistent. Just please get in this ring. Whatever you're saying, I can't hear. Say it in my good ear. Just get in this ring. And the way he delivered it, get your bitch ass in this ring. And I said it in the prior video when it was in the video about the double standard about The Rock and how people say that they can't curse in their promos. And I mentioned that they like to spam the word bitch a lot. Now tell me, since I put out that video, and maybe you've already been noticing it before this, am I bugging or are they saying it even more now? It's like everybody is just spamming the word bitch. It's like they have like a bitch quota or it's like bitch is the only curse word they could say, so they just lean deep into it. Anyway, out comes Seth, and Seth coming out and his interest made me realize something. Earlier in this segment, when Punk mentioned Seth, the crowd booed. But out comes Seth, and this crowd is singing his song. He gets in the ring, and they're singing his song. And Punk says, "This may be your show, but this is my city." And the crowd's back behind him. It's just making me realize just how fickle fans are. Now, I'm not saying this to be disparaging or disrespectful. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. Just let me know how you feel about this. But I don't think that wrestling fans of today are good wrestling fans. Fans just want to have a good time. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, fans today don't pick a side. Like, how can we have a meaningful babyface or a meaningful heel? How can someone get over as a heel or babyface when the crowd is cheering both? Because it's fun and they're just having a good time. Again, nothing wrong with that. But to me, it kind of interferes with the presentation of said wrestler, because we don't know if we should be staunchly against this guy and staunchly in favor of the other. Right? I mean, on an individual basis, you can be, okay, I'm on this guy's side, I'm against this guy. But let's say a casual fan that doesn't know these people tune in and they hear you cheering both people. Well, who am I supposed to like? Who am I supposed to dislike? It's kind of weird. And for them to 1 second be booing Seth, and then now, since his entrance happened and his music is going and they do the whoa, they do that whole thing. It's like this. Fans are just fickle. You're even in CM Punk's city, and you know CM Punk and Seth have huge problems with each other, and you sing his song. To me, it makes no sense. So I think that fans really should draw a line in the sand. You're either going to be with somebody or you're going to be against them. That's just where I am. You don't have to be that way. It's just my thought process. Maybe something that y'all never thought of, because I never thought about it until this entrance. But again, I'm not the play-by-play guy. Good. Was it a back and forth, or was Seth just cooking? Let me say this about Seth. Seth's been cooking lately. Seth's been cooking, and I think that over the past 3 weeks, matter of fact, I will say since the Royal Rumble, Seth has done a good service with this title, and he hasn't even wrestled once. The title today feels like a bigger deal since Seth got hurt and hasn't wrestled. I don't know what to say about that, but it kind of feels that way. And here's why. This title is going to be represented in the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania, right? The title is going to be... So Seth knows, like, all right, I'm not going to get me a title match, or I'm not going to get a main event match at WrestleMania. Let me find a way to get myself into the main event and bring the title along with me, right? So there's that aspect. Him having that title and putting it into the same picture as the top title, Rock, Roman, Cody, the big story. And then, I mean, Seth is the outlier, but that title is there. So when people watch this in the future, let's say 15 years into the future, when your memory goes a little hazy on the events that happened that led up into this WrestleMania, you're going to remember that title was a part of this match. Not saying it was contested in this match, but the champion was a part of this big, huge match that's happening. That's 1. 2, Drew wants that title bad. Punk wanted that title. Well, Punk really wanted to be in the main event of WrestleMania, but contending for the title. That also makes it a big deal. Drew wants all of Seth's attention and focus on him for Mania. He doesn't want any distractions. He wants Seth to be at 100%. I feel him on that. However, he feels as though Seth has just been ignoring him. Now, here's where I say I like the way Seth has been over the past few weeks because he was ignoring Drew. But it's like he said, once the lights are shining bright on you, are you going to step up? Right? So now Seth is giving him a sample. He's like, all right, I'm going to put my attention on you. And in these promos, he's been burying Drew. Not only that, but any chance he gets, he's putting them palms on Drew. And then it's just the way he carries himself on Raw in these past few weeks, just the past few weeks, where he's still a cross dresser. However, he's gotten more serious. And that's the thing since the Rumble. He's gotten more serious. It's the dressing that just throws everything off. If you put Seth in a man's wardrobe, hell, you could just put him in a t-shirt and some sweats and he'll be fine. Just get rid of the bell bottoms. If you just have him look normal and you listen to his promos and you watch how he carries himself, you'll be like, oh my God, that's a champion. Drew turned his back for a second, which Drew accuses Seth of doing. Drew is saying that Seth is not paying attention. He's ignoring him. He's putting his attention on something else. So Seth, the moment that Drew put his attention on something else, Seth destroyed him. Grabbed his title, walked out, held head high, like he was the man. And it looked that way. It felt that way. It was perfect. It was perfect. Because he made Drew look small. He made Punk look small. And he made himself look like the man. That's what your champion needs to do. Somewhere in here, I'm going to try to draw a connection to Cody, but that's going to be for another video. I got some theory videos that's going to be coming out on this bloodline thing. But anyway, excellent segment. It did go long. I don't think long in a bad way, but I think that they did good with the amount of time that they had. They had a lot of time. They were in Chicago and it's Punk. You're going to get some time. Punk's theatrics throughout the promo segment, active. And I think that that's just something that more promos need of other people. Get animated in your promos. Put some feeling in it. Put some action to it. Do something so that way your promo can stand out. And when referenced in the future, you can say, well, remember that time that he did this? And you say, yeah, okay, I remember that promo. It's a really simple way to get your stuff over. And I think it's a lost art in today's wrestling. Okay, in the ugly part of Raw, we got Candice LaRae and Ivory Nile. Let me say this about Candice LaRae. Ivory Nile is pretty fine. She's okay. Candice LaRae, I swear, like I've seen her on the indies and I thought that she was fantastic, but for some reason, she just does not translate well to WWE. I don't know if it's because she's not allowed to wrestle a certain style. I don't know. I don't know if that's it. Because since she's came to WWE, and I'm starting with NXT, she's been ass. She's been at like I can't think of a time under the WWE banner, and I'm including NXT, under the company of WWE where I ever looked at Candice and said, damn, she did good. Not even great. I'm not even saying she did great. Damn, she did good. I can't think of one. And now we have her heel turn, and she's trying to get Indy Hartwell to come along with it, and she's not going, and that's going to turn into a feud. But it just isn't working. I don't know what they can do with Candice LaRae at this point that's going to help her get over. I just don't see it. I don't know if it's age or what, in which she's not able, I'm not going to say she's not able to perform the same moves that she used to back in the indies. I don't know. Like, maybe she, in WWE, she's one of those people that came in and said, hey, I want to preserve my career, so I'm going to cut back on the dangerous stuff. Maybe that's it, but nothing she's doing is getting over. Nothing at all. And I don't see a solution for someone like her. Maybe, like, I don't even see her good in a managerial role. I really cannot see anything here. Again, I personally think that anyone they put her with, as far as a feud or a match or anything like that, I kind of feel like she sucks the energy out of it. So, whereas you've seen Ivy Nile against, I was about to say Candice Parker, Ivy Nile against Rhea Ripley, and Ivy Nile looked great. You get Ivy Nile and Candice LeRae, and it's like you almost forget that Ivy Nile was there because, like, it was a nothing burger match. Now, granted, they didn't get time. They probably got like a minute or less. You don't really get to do much with that, but we've had Candice LeRae for about 3 weeks straight now working in this heel gimmick. So we can go from not having time in one match versus we got you on TV for 3 weeks and you're showing us nothing. You're just showing us that you'll do anything it takes to win, underhandedly or whatever. But like, you're not doing anything. Nothing at, oh, I hurt my knee. Oh, I hurt my ankle. Roll up. Kelly. Hit somebody with a ring bell or something. Go pick up the steps and dump it on somebody's head. Get a chair. Mercilessly beat someone in the back before someone comes out. Do the Nancy Kerrigan joint where you take a steel pipe to a chick's leg. You gotta do something. Sure, you're not gonna get the in-ring time, but you be backstage doing shit. They give you time backstage. You gotta fuck somebody up, like something. I get absolutely nothing out of Candice LeRae. I don't know about y'all. And then we follow it up with her damn husband. Before I talk about that match, I need to put over the fact that R-Truth is such a great character. He was excellent on commentary before this match, or during this match with DIY and New Day. I just need to put that on the table. And you know what? I'll get back to R-Truth at the end of this match. But we get a match between DIY and New Day because they dissed each other backstage. Like, that's that. Maybe something happened last week. I didn't really watch Raw like that last week. I just watched a couple of segments and I was out of there as normal. But here we are. And again, a nothing match. There's not much to say about New Day. At this point, without Big E, I think that's a group that needs to break up because there's nothing going on with them. No momentum. There's just no character. There's nothing with New Day without Big E, it seems. But they are already established. They already have their legacy. They're fine. I think that they should break up. But DIY has a bit of a problem in which it just seems like whatever they're doing, just like their little girlfriend, nothing they do is getting over. But for them, I have a solution. DIY needs to be on SmackDown. The red and black logos in the darker lights of Raw just doesn't seem to suit them. There's something about being on SmackDown in the blue lights. Maybe blue equals electricity in our mind, but it's just something about the blue lights that make a fast tag team look better. On Raw, I think it behooves a team or a wrestler that moves a little slower to be on there because of the duller, darker colors of black and red versus blue and white, which feels like energy. I hope I'm making sense here with what I'm saying. But with DIY, they need to be over there so that their fast-paced work just looks, it compares with the energy that the SmackDown vibe gives off. Also, a thing that can help them out is they need to work underneath. They don't need to be a team that's working on par with teams. They need a strong heel tag team that they can feud with, and they need to work underneath so that way they can get over as baby faces, but the slow grind way. And I'm not talking about 50-50 matches. I mean, they need to be getting beat down. They need to be getting beat down. They need to be conflicting. And when I'm saying conflicting, like I'm talking like backstage segments and things like that. They need to be conflicted with one another. Like, damn, this tag team thing, I'm not sure it's working. Like, there needs to be conflict with this team rather than it's just we're gonna go out, we'll have matches, we'll win or we'll lose. We look really good, but we win or we lose, and then there's no momentum with that. Have these motherfuckers get they shit beat in every single week and make it matter. That way, when they start to get better and they start to win, right? And then they go back and they face that strong heel tag team. Now they look, the crowd is finally behind them because they're tired of them losing. They know how good this team can be, and then you're off to the races. I think a strong heel team that you can do Imperium. Imperium's been looking great. I don't know why they haven't been on TV in the past few weeks, but Imperium's been like they've resurrected themselves as a strong heel team. Then again, Da Vinci just had a singles match against Andrade that he lost. Beyond that shouldn't be happening. I don't know if somebody's hurt or somebody's suspended or on vacation or what, but Imperium needs to be a tag team, needs to be a strong heel tag team and stay as that. Period. That way they can help guys get over. When War Machine comes back or whatever they're called now, they need to be presented as a strong heel team as well. Not all the gimmicky, whatever the fuck that shit is. They need to be just a strong heel, kick-ass team, like in the sense of how APA was. And that's how you get these smaller babyface teams over. It's going to work for them in the long run and you got to strap these heels. You got to strap them. You got to strap the heels. And that way, when your babyface teams, your underneath babyface teams work their way up, they're doing it and you know that there's an obstacle. There's a goal for them to reach and you got monster heels that they will have to slay. I think that that's the way that a DIY can get over. I mean, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. That's my solution. Other than that, I got nothing for them because the charisma's not there, the promo's not there. I don't know what you do with them. I really don't. I can't think of like a female manager or a female worker that could talk really well. I don't know what you can do with this team beyond them getting over on their talent alone. And they're not getting any younger, so I don't know. Next, we have Andrade and Giovanni Vinci. Giovanni Vinci should not be wrestling on his own unless he looks like he can be a threat. Andrade, on the other hand, we know what he can do. We know the guy can work. That guy needs to be with Zelina Vega. LWO, maybe Andrade needs to go in and infiltrate and break up LWO so that he could get Zelina back. Because it's just something about that pairing. Someone that's putting him over. That's what Zelina used to do. Zelina used to get on that mic and tell you just how good this dude is. And it worked. And right now, without her, it just feels like it's a guy going out there that can work. I mean, they're, again, like I've been saying in previous videos, they're probably not going to do anything with him until after WrestleMania. So right now, they're just making sure that the crowd knows who he is and how impressive he can be working-wise. But other than that, we got nothing really here to sink our teeth into. So this next thing is going to be a bit weird for me. With Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, their promo segment. This one's really weird for me because Becky delivered a very good promo. You understand her passion. You understand the sorrow that she poured out there with the line about her father not being able to see her as a mother, even though he was proud of everything she did in the ring. Rhea, I don't know. Maybe it's Rhea, but they're doing everything right. They're both doing everything right. Passionate promos. They're not afraid to brawl. You understand the story, which is Rhea's the hot thing right now. Becky used to be the hot thing. She's not anymore, and she wants to climb her way to get back to that point. You understand the story. Everything's good. However, and maybe it's just me, I don't care. Like, I don't know why I don't care. I don't know. Again, maybe it's real. I never care about Beck. Like, I think that I was done with Becky just before that Triple Threat Mania match, where I saw the writing on the wall for her. It didn't take long. And I haven't cared about her since. So even going into this, and I understand her plight. I understand the entire story. I don't care. Can somebody help make me care about this? I don't get it. I don't even know what I don't get. I just don't care about this. I'm looking at them brawling. I'm listening to the promo. I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, cool. I don't care. Like, there's nothing. I can't even say anything. I don't know if this comes off as hate, indifference. I don't know what this feeling is about their situation, but I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I just know I don't care. Is it because it's the host? I feel like I had more to say about Candice LaRae than I have about these two. And maybe it's because they are already where they're going to be. They've already climbed up the mountain, so there's not really a solution to give because they've already gotten there. I just don't know. I really don't know. You got Rhea who says Becky needs to get in the ring and work every week to get herself over, where all she has to do is post a picture and the freaks come out. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I seen her do the little butt jiggle in Nia's. I didn't care. Maybe I need to understand why people are just so in love with Rhea. To me, Rhea looks like a damn dude. But dudes are out there like cucking crazy to a chick that looks like a dude. Like, I don't get. You know what? Let me move along. There's nothing positive for me to say here. Nothing negative, but nothing. I just don't care. Like, it's like I'm just whelmed, right? Let me just see what's next, because it wasn't even ass. It just existed. And they didn't do anything wrong. I feel so bad because they didn't do anything wrong. I just don't care. What do we get next? Sami Zayn and Bronson Reed. Let me say this. One thing that I like about what they're doing I had a voice crack. One thing I like what they're doing about Bronson Reed, or what they're doing with Bronson Reed, is how he almost comes off as if he's just there, but low key, this dude racks up wins, right? He racks up wins in a low key way. It's meaningless wins. However, he's beating guys with names. I think that this way down the line with a Bronson Reed, is that an ant? Yo, this fucking ant season, bro. It's an ant on my mic. Yeah, I got a hole that. One thing with Bronson Reed is when it's his time, he's going to already have the credibility to be the barometer. As I said in the video with Ricochet, they're building up this mid card, and I think that it's a very, very strong mid card that these guys are building up. And I think that Bronson Reed needs to be one of the guys at the front of it. You got Bronson, Gable, Flippy guy, what's his name? Ricochet. And even the guy he wrestled with the big stop sign head. I think I found his name, JD McDonagh. Like, and a plethora of other people. Dom is going to be a star on SmackDown. We're not worried about him on Raw, but I'm thinking like as pertaining to Raw, they're building up a huge nucleus of mid-card guys for that mid-card title. Fuck, I just realized I did something stupid. In editing down, oh man. I had that whole thing edited and I freaking erased the whole thing. Anyway, that's not for you guys. Pretty good match with Sami and Bronson. I mean, you had Goon come out, stand at the top of the entrance ramp, and just watch and laugh at Sami. And Sami got distracted because just before the match started, you had the backstage segment with Sami and Gable where Gable tells him, hey, you need to put all your focus on the guy that's in front of you, which is Bronson Reed. The way that Goon gets in your head is he's just distracting you. He's making you take your eye off the prize, off the bigger picture. And it's going to be your demise. And lo and behold, what do you have? You have a match with Sami and Bronson, and Sami loses. Why? Because he did exactly against, or he went exactly against what Gable told him to do, which is pay attention to what's in front of you. You know what? I think that that's going to be the finish to the Mania match. Holy. Okay, Mania match. Goon and Sami, right? Sami can have the upper hand on Goon and get distracted by a Gable. Gable told him, hey, keep your eye on what's in front of you. Gable wants to be the one to dethrone Goon, and that's going to happen. However, you need a match in between, because I think that Goon loses at SummerSlam. You can do Sami and Gable at the next pay-per-view, and then you could set up, and of course Gable's going to win there, but you could set up Gable and Goon for SummerSlam, in which Goon gets dethroned by Gable. And that sets the mid-card off into its own stratosphere. You get Goon into the main event picture, and it's going to be one hell of a year for WWE after WrestleMania, and especially come SummerSlam season. I don't even know where SummerSlam is at, but I think I need to buy tickets now. I think SummerSlam is going to be better than WrestleMania because that has nothing. I digress. Good match. Bronson Reed looked how Bronson Reed's supposed to look, like a monster. Sami got distracted because he's stupid. And you rack up another Bronson win. In the future, when Bronson's one of the top guys in the mid-card and he's the obstacle, it's going to make a lot of sense because the guy's credible and he has wins against everybody. It's going to make a lot of sense. I like the booking of it. Did they need to do more? I don't think that they needed to do more. They got across the point with the time that they had. Everything made sense. I mean, nothing really to say much on that one. Jey Uso and Nakamura. They had a match. But we ain't here to talk about the motherfucking gameplay. Before this match, Seth Rollins stopped Jey Uso in the back, told him he had a bad feeling about tonight. We all know what ended up happening at the end of the night. But there's still something here that's telling me that Seth, he's making me think really, really, I don't want to say long and hard, but he's really making me think about how things are going to turn out at WrestleMania. Seth is in on something. Seth is definitely in on something. I can't put my finger on it just yet. But Seth is in on this. That match, who gives a shit? But during the match, Uso and his brother comes out to interfere. Immediately, Seth and Cody comes out to help, cool. Like immediately. Now Seth gets taken out by Drew because Drew found he got his get back. Found his way out there. Future Shock DDT. We get Seth up out the building. That takes care of him. We don't have to worry about him no more. Now we have Cody, not Jay. Cody, Jimmy, and the other little boy that nobody cares about anymore. Cody fights them off to the back. Jey Uso wins his match. Nakamura needs to leave. Nakamura needs to retire or save New Japan. He needs to not be in WWE because it's ridiculous how trash this dude is. Trash. He's trash. He's trash in WWE. We can't do Nakamura in WWE no more. It's over. It's over. Stick a fork in him. He's done. Now, Jay wins the match and he stays out there with the crowd and he's just in the ring for a while, right? While Cody is doing his bit. Oh my God. It just dawned on me. Cody's doing Jay's bidding because Cody came out to help Jay. Cody has nothing to do with what Jay got going on, by the way. Nothing whatsoever. However, Cody goes and fights these guys off to the back. Out comes The Rock. Now, before The Rock even come out, why didn't Jay go to the back to help Cody? He's still fighting two of his brothers. Why didn't Jay go back there and help? He literally just stood there in the ring. Just stood there. Like for a minute. Like they showed it. He just stood there. Cody goes to the back. He's beating up his brothers. Out comes The Rock. Look at you now. And we're off to the races, right? Because this is, for some reason, this is what, I've been getting hit up left and right on Twitter about folks like, hey, look, hey, why is it? Where's that? We got the physicality that you was talking about. Here it is. Rock pulled up. Look at you now. Look at you now. Is hilarious. I swear, I gotta put respect on Cody's name. I gotta put respect on Cody's name for being the one. Is that a fly? Bro, I swear I heard something zip past my ear. But I gotta put respect on Cody's name. I swear, you know how people be like, Cody's for the black people, Cody's one of us, and that whole thing. They be putting up the memes having Cody in the background with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X pictures and stuff like that. Any black coalition, Cody's in the background of it. I swear to God, Cody is one of us because tonight, Cody gave us reparations. Rock beat that dude like a slave. Look at you now, boy. Yo, they beat him like an old Virginia slave, yo. That shit it was funny. I'm sorry. What he called the boy, I lost it. I had to watch it like 4 times. Look at you now is funny. But the emphasis he put on boy was insane. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hopefully my mic picks this up. Hopefully the mic picks it up, because this was funny. Let me see. I gotta hit the refresh on this. This is funny. I'm sorry that I'm taking up your time with this because I'm not editing out me looking for it. All right, here we go. Hold on. Before that. Run it back. I need this loud. Is that? All right, I'll get a little louder. Look at you now, boy. Look at you now. Oh, okay. So In the previous video that I put out, and I'm not going to link it, it's just on my channel. Go watch it, where I talked about this match and this feud not really having the build that I prefer. Everything was pretty much promo, slap, promo, entrance, and that's your WrestleMania video package, right? And finally, we got physicality. I've been asking for this for weeks. We finally got the physicality. And if we're going to tell it, let's tell the truth. Outside of Rock throwing a garbage at him, reparations is a motherfucker. Outside of The Rock just throwing a garbage can at him a couple of times, it was just, Rock throw him into a wall. Rock throw him into the truck. Rock throw him into the truck. Throw him into the truck and talk shit. But when you are of legendary status and you take, and I said this in the video too, you need to take this to different settings. Somebody needs to be outside. I even said somebody needs to get thrown off the top of a building or something. And it looked like The Rock was about to do that when he had him hemmed up against that little opening right there. And yes, I saw the truck with Austin, with Cena and Trish on it. I saw the truck. They put it in the shot. Did it have to be there? Is it a sign? Yada, yada, yada. Another topic for another video. Not going to do that one here. You can tell me what you think about it, but I'm not going to do that here. However, if you have the right components in the right setting, you can get a memorable moment. And that's what this was. You got the final boss, The Rock, and he takes him outside. This guy is huge. Pause. The gargantuan. There has to be another way I could say this, right? This is another way. Anyway. But we got the final boss, and he's beating the crap out of Cody. He takes him outside, and now we're in the rain. Oh, the rain was perfect. Oh, that's this. This was perfect. And he's just, I can't say beating the shit out of him. He's just throwing him up against the trailer, which is cool. You don't want to do too much with The Rock because you don't want him to get hurt. So you can't really have Cody fire back yet. It probably still working some of the rust off the guy. And maybe he's in a performance wherever they're practicing at. Cody got his own dojo or whatever. So they could be working on stuff there. I don't know. But, he's 93 years old. So you got to kind of baby steps with Rocky, right? But then we got the blood. And the way that The Rock was controlling the camera and controlling this whole segment, put the camera on him, back up a little bit. Yeah, pull it up, tap the little camera, tap the camera. Yeah, put it on me. All right, now, then, throws him up against the wall. And hey, come here, follow me. Tells the camera, follow him. Now he's cutting his promo. And by the time Cody's finished gigging and getting the blood, because, put the camera on him, look at him. The prophecy is now correct. It's come true. We got his blood, and he takes off the belt. He got Mama Rhodes' belt. And he got it white. Oh, you know that when they bleed, there needs to be some white so that we can see the blood. Yes, this worked. It worked. It worked for me. Rock didn't have to do a lot to get this over, and he still did a lot. He did a lot without doing much of anything. And that right there is the art of wrestling. Less is more. That's the art of wrestling that I like. Sure, you can do your flips, kicks, and high spots and all of that stuff. It means nothing if you can't get it over. And there was literally just a couple of people that complained about, it's blood, and this is what y'all say that y'all don't want on AEW. Bro, what the fuck? What? But you literally never see blood, and finally, where something deserves it, and Rock talked about, I'm going to make you bleed, and he gives it to you, and it's once in a blue moon, and it hit. let me not find a way to stick AEW in this, but you get what I mean. It makes sense here. And it worked. I liked it. It was hilarious to me. And I think from here on, the gloves are off. Dudes is about to go crazy. This needed to pick up in a big way. I still think that we need a response from Roman, because right now this is the Cody and Rock show. I mean, Cody's not really doing much for it, other than just being a punching bag. But Roman needs to step up and do something. We also got to get some blood on Seth's hands because he stuck his nose in this. He got to get some blood on his hands. Like, both of these dudes need to get they snot box rock. And I said, what's that dude named this? Never mind, he's gay. Bambada did him crazy. But we need blood on Seth's hands too. Yeah. Or maybe we never get blood on Seth's hands because he's going to turn. I don't know. You let me know down in the comment section below, and I hope you enjoyed this. As I reviewed Raw, again, after the shows going forward, I'm going to do these reviews live, but it's going to be channel member only. So if you are a member of the channel, you will see the live streams of that. And how do I say? I don't care if it's only one person there, or I don't care if I'm the only one there, but I will be doing a live stream. Again, members only. Otherwise, you're going to have to get these chopped and screwed like a mug, and they're going to come out later. Either way, you will get them. If you want them live and to interact live, you know what you got to do. All right, I'm rambling now. I got to go. Adios, Purge.